Hello, my name is Manoj Nair, and I am a product manager on the Amazon WorkDocs team. In this session, we'll take a look at Amazon WorkDocs, an enterprise file sharing and collaboration offering from Amazon Web Services. Let's take a quick look at the agenda for this session. We'll start with understanding how Amazon WorkDocs helps improve business productivity. We'll follow that up with a perspective on customer expectations of cloud-based enterprise sharing and collaboration solutions, and how these are met with Amazon WorkDocs. And then we'll wrap up with a brief look at WorkDocs capabilities, including the SDK, which enables enterprise customers to use the service as is or build their own custom solutions using WorkDocs APIs. Before we go into product features, it would be good to understand the business drivers of using Amazon WorkDocs in your enterprise. The drivers are: 1. It's highly cost-effective to use Amazon WorkDocs. You only pay for the resources you use with per-user pricing or pay-per-use API pricing with no long-term contracts or upfront commitments. 2. WorkDocs is easy to use. The service is designed so that customers can, with a few clicks, securely host file sharing workloads in AWS Cloud and have your users start accessing files using WorkDocs applications or through your own SaaS-based applications. 3. WorkDocs is flexible. WorkDocs enables you to get started with new content or existing content located on on-premises repositories using a free migration app. This eases the migration process for existing data while preserving options for building new solutions that your organization might need. Let's now take a look at the progress we've made since 2019. Since 2019, we have shipped over 33 features to enable various enterprise sharing and collaboration use cases. Like all AWS services, 99% of WorkDocs roadmap is influenced by direct customer feedback on requirements and capabilities our customers expect to see in the product. As you can see, we have a high velocity for shipping features and are very focused on ensuring we have a good fit for enabling enterprise file sharing workload scenarios in AWS Cloud. Aside from specific collaboration features, we are also focusing on making it easy for enterprise administrators to deploy WorkDocs in their organization with features such as auto activation and Microsoft Active Directory group policy-based deployment of WorkDocs applications. We are also looking into making additional investments in this area to make it even easier for enterprise customers to onboard to WorkDocs and deploy WorkDocs quickly in their organizations. Let's take a look at WorkDocs capabilities. When we talk about WorkDocs capabilities, we like to categorize them based on how our customers think about content collaboration platforms. This is also how Gartner, Forrester, and IDC characterize capabilities of various CCP solutions they evaluate. So mapping to the categorization, we think, will make it easy for our customers to get a good perspective and understanding of WorkDocs capabilities. We'll start by looking at foundational capabilities, and then look at extended services, and round off by looking at intelligent content services, specifically around cognitive capabilities. Foundational capabilities. WorkDocs has a hugely scaled and reliable repository service built on top of Amazon S3. In addition, we have enabled an advanced search facility that allows users to search not just using file and folder names, but also do in-content search and search for metadata values that they might have uploaded along with the file. Security is embedded in the form of integrated security for authentication using Microsoft Active Directory and also standalone authentication for external sharing use cases. Metadata services enables our customers to add custom metadata values that can be used for categorizing files and for searching on these metadata values to retrieve files. There are simple workflows available to enable scenarios such as approval workflows for document approvals and contract negotiations. For analytics, we have a rich set of APIs that will allow customers to build detailed reports on user activity, file usage activity, and API access from CloudTrail logs. On top of foundational capabilities, we have extended services and intelligent content services. Extended services enable customers to have a modern document management experience. They can have internet content hosting. They have file share and sync, and team collaboration and reporting services. Intelligent content services are additional capabilities that we have made available through a rich API, which can be used by customers in a pay-per-use model. There is interoperability and federation available through the APIs so that on-premises applications can easily integrate with the WorkDocs APIs to build rich content management applications. And these applications can further be extended through the availability of cognitive services that are built using ML and AI capabilities in WorkDocs natively, so that the applications can build out additional new scenarios to enable intelligent content management. Let's now take a look at core WorkDocs use cases. WorkDocs is a very versatile platform and can support a wide variety of content management use cases. However, there are 4 key use cases that work very well end-to-end from the get-go, with no additional work needed from customers. Customers can create a WorkDocs site with just a few clicks and use the WorkDocs web, drive, and mobile applications to enable a modern file sharing experience for their users. Let's take a look at the 4 use cases you can enable right out of the gate. The first one is file repository in AWS Cloud. Once the site is created, you can easily store files in the cloud in a secure compliant service. Smart search and fast retrieval is automatically enabled with no version limits. There is complete control in terms of who can access the file using granular permissions. Real-time auditability of all activities are also automatically enabled through WorkDocs activity feed. And users can access all files in WorkDocs anytime, anywhere, using the web, mobile, and desktop applications. File collaboration is the second use case where users can share and collaborate in real time with their team members and with clients. Sharing with external users is very simple and can be done using an email address, and guest users are free. Users can also co-edit Office documents anytime, anywhere in the web application using Office 365 integration or HandCom integration. Long email chains can be eliminated via the rich commenting and annotation capabilities available for all files in WorkDocs. User share and team shared replacement is the third use case. User home drives and team drives replacing traditional network drives can be enabled in WorkDocs. Users can access all their files when they need them without having to download all the files onto their PCs and save on local storage. PCs and Macs can be extended with integration into WorkDocs Explorer and Mac Finder through the use of WorkDocs Drive and WorkDocs Companion. Customers can build rich content management applications using the WorkDocs SDK that's available as part of the AWS SDK. Using the SDK, you can add rich WorkDocs features to any web or mobile application and also integrate with your business tools. As you saw in the opening slides, WorkDocs has many features for enabling enterprise content management. In order to make it easy for customers to understand the value proposition of the features, we categorize them into 8 types you see on the slide. WorkDocs has a set of features that enable secure file sharing where Active Directory is used for enterprise security. Network file shares can be replaced and content moved to WorkDocs, where real-time auditing and compliance is automatically enabled in the form of real-time activity feeds. Users can use Smart Search to search for files, not just using file and folder names, but also do in-content search and metadata search. Tasks and simple workflows can be enabled to do approval workflows for document reviews and contract approvals. Mobile and field productivity is enabled through the use of iOS and Android mobile applications. And customers can build advanced content management applications using the Developer SDK. Enterprise customers have security as one of their top considerations when moving workloads to the cloud. You can raise your security posture for file server workload with Amazon WorkDocs and gain the control and confidence you need to securely run your business while enabling complex file sharing use cases for internal and external users. For user security, there are strong authentication and authorization controls integrated with Enterprise AD. External sharing has similar security controls with OAuth authentication and multi-factor authentication. There are rich side controls that allow how sharing controls can be configured, what storage limits need to be applied for users, and how real-time activity can be used for auditing and user management purposes. Rich file security controls enable auditing and reporting at file and folder access levels, with unlimited versioning for files, capability to restore files from recycle bin within 180 days, disabling file downloads and print if needed, and having link expiration and access code policies. With governance and compliance, WorkDocs is HIPAA eligible, PCI DSS compliant, ISO certified, with data residency in 6 regions worldwide with supporting assurance programs. On network security, WorkDocs supports end-to-end data encryption, both for data in flight and data at rest, with SSL TLS secure tunnel for file transmission and 256-bit encryption applied to all data in rest and in transit. On data center security, WorkDocs is SSAE 16 and SAS 70 compliant with automatic disaster recovery policies and continuous threat assessment. AWS is helping thousands of organizations, including enterprises such as GE, the Coca-Cola Company, BP, News Corp, and 21st Century Fox, successfully migrate significant workloads to the cloud. These companies benefited from substantial IT cost savings, as well as improvements in productivity, business agility, and operational resilience. Based on our years of experience, we have built a complete solution for migrating file server workloads to AWS so that you can gain business benefits faster. Network share migration is an easy 3-step process as shown on the slide. The first step is planning, where you plan out the files and content that needs to be migrated to WorkDocs. You decide on what metadata needs to be moved as part of the migration of files, and you decide on what permission structure you would like to have in WorkDocs. Once you have built out the plan, you can configure and execute the same on the WorkDocs site using the WorkDocs Migration Kit. The WorkDocs Migration Kit uses AWS Data Sync to securely transfer data from on-premises file shares to WorkDocs and is up to 10 times faster compared to existing tools. Once you have successfully migrated your content to WorkDocs and you have verified that the files, the metadata, and permissions are configured as you need, you can turn off or decommission your on-premises server and realize the cost savings. To wrap up, let's do a quick recap of WorkDocs capabilities. Under File Management, you have bulk uploads and downloads, smart content search, unlimited versions, granular permissions, in-browser previews, and approval workflows. User and site management can be done through AD integration, as well as activity feeds and user data that can be exported through the use of SDKs. Users can have a modern file sharing and collaboration experience using the WorkDocs web application, WorkDocs Drive, WorkDocs Companion, and WorkDocs mobile app for iOS and Android. WorkDocs is available in 6 regions worldwide, enabling data residency and data locality requirements for customers. WorkDocs has a rich set of APIs that's part of the AWS SDK that customers can use to build business content applications with support for OAuth and Kerberos. File sharing and collaboration is enabled using Share by Invite for Active Directory users and security groups, Share by Link, where files can be shared using password-protected links, rich commenting for threaded comments, annotations, and attention support, and integration with Office Online and Handcom. In addition, guest users are free and can be invited to view files and download files. For security and governance, WorkDocs has IP filtering, PCI compliance, single sign-on with multi-factor authentication, encryption of data at rest and in flight, and data retention policies that can be configured by administrator for all users in a site.
Hey everyone, my name is Ben Fitzpatrick. I'm a Senior Business Development Manager on the Amazon WorkDocs team. And Manoj has asked me to go through and show you the Amazon WorkDocs clients live. So I'm going to lead a live demo here. And we're going to start first off with the WorkDocs web user interface, which allows you to see and access all of your personal and shared files and folders, all from a shared space. So we're going to start off first of all, when you first log into WorkDocs, this is sort of what the screen is going to look like. Just sort of from a navigation perspective, you have My Docs, which think of these as an end user's personal documents. I have the Collaborate tab here. These are all of my shared documents or shared files and folders that I have with other users and teams within my organization. And then I also have this activity feed here. The activity feed as an end user or for an end user is going to give me visibility into all the activity relative to files that I have access to. So if user A shares a file with me, I would be able to see that activity in this feed here. If user A shares a file with user B and I'm not either of those users and those files are not actually shared with me, then I wouldn't see anything within this activity feed since it's not subject to my permission set. As an administrator, however, you can actually filter this activity feed to show site-wide activity. And once that's applied, then as an administrator, I will be able to see all of the activity across the entire account, including content that is not necessarily shared with me or that I don't necessarily personally have access to. So this acts as a great audit tool to give administrators the ability to see everything that's happening within the WorkDocs site and make sure that no content is being shared with folks that maybe shouldn't have content shared with them. And it shows all aspects. If somebody downloads a file, that is tracked, uploads a file, that is tracked here, and so on and so forth. But again, administrators get full visibility into everything that's happening across the entire WorkDocs site. WorkDocs also integrates with AWS CloudTrail logs. So in addition to the activity feed, from an auditing perspective, all of your activities within WorkDocs and the behind the scenes API calls happening within the WorkDocs tool can also be tracked through CloudTrail as well. So that's the activity feed. In addition, let's talk about search. So there are a couple different ways that I can search. I can do a basic text-based search here. So I'm just going to search for Seattle. And let's say I open this, any company budget. You'll notice that we're not only searching just file names, we're also searching content within documents. So for instance, this is a preview of a Word document. And even though Seattle is not mentioned in the actual file name, it's mentioned in the text of the document. That is also indexed. So that is actually searched as part of our search process too. In addition to the text-based search, you can also do an advanced search, which really just gives you some additional filtering. You can search by location. You can search by the time a document was uploaded or a file was uploaded, a specific date range file was uploaded, resource types, including all of your popular Office type files, or if you wanted to even put in a custom file extension, you could do that here as well. And that would narrow down your search more specifically to what you're looking for. You can also filter by whether something has comments, if labels are attached, the name of a file, or a specific owner's alias can be searched for here as well. So that just gives some additional additional search capabilities and search functionality within the WorkDocs web user interface. In addition, I have apps here. This gives you access to all of the WorkDocs apps that can be downloaded and utilized. For instance, our companion app is a behind-the-scenes application that runs that allows you to seamlessly edit all of your files stored in WorkDocs in the cloud locally on your desktop without having to manually upload, download, and re-upload, et cetera, et cetera. Our WorkDocs Drive app, which is our mounted desktop drive that allows users to access all of their content from their local file systems, including Mac Finder and Windows File Explorer. Our mobile app shows you where you can get that both for Fire, OS, Android, and then iOS. You can also launch our approvals tool directly from here. And then if you'd like to migrate data into WorkDocs, our migration tool can be launched from here as well. I can also create content directly from here or create new files or folders. I can track my tasks, and then if I need to contact support, I can contact support here, which would allow me to reach out to my WorkDocs site administrator as well. And then all of the advanced settings can be accessed here, either for an end user or an admin. So let's dig a little bit deeper. So I want to show you. I know we covered the search functionality. I want to show you how a file can be edited. So let's go in and open an example here. Let's go to this any company budget example here. And we're going to talk about editing next. So there are 3 ways you can edit a file. You can edit through HandCom Think Free, which is our browser-based real-time editor. You can edit through Microsoft Office Online. So if you have an Office Online license, you can click here, sign in using your existing Office credentials, and then edit the document through Office Online. And then we also have the companion application, which I mentioned briefly before, that allows you to easily edit on your desktop locally. So for instance, this is a Word document. This would automatically open up Microsoft Word for me to make those changes as well. So let's go through and I'll show you. So this is our HandCom editor. I'm going to show you first. When I click the HandCom editor, it's going to open up the same document in HandCom. Now, HandCom is a third party it's integrated with WorkDocs specifically. And you can actually, if you'd like, have multiple users in here editing a document at the same time. So it doesn't have to be limited to just me editing this. If I shared a link and had multiple other users in here with me, we could all be making changes simultaneously. So let's say I wanted to change this to 2020, and let's say I want to change it to version 53. Make any changes that I want, and you'll see as I'm typing, each time I make a change, you'll see that there's a little save notification down at the bottom. So it's saving my changes as I go in real time, as opposed to having me have to manually save it every time. So let's say I'm happy with my changes. I want to get out of here. I would then click Save and Exit. And then within about 36 seconds or so, this should be pushed back into WorkDocs as a new version. Okay, and now you'll see that we have a new version uploaded. I've got Seattle Tech Company 2020 and version 53 as we typed in. So now all those changes are pushed back into WorkDocs as a new version, and then I can go and see my added version history directly here as well. So that's one method for editing. And then you can also do content creation with that tool. So if I were to click Create a new document, this would automatically create a document using that HandCom tool. I could put whatever text in there that I want to, or even edit it, as I mentioned before, with multiple users, and then that would save in WorkDocs as a brand new document. And then the nice thing about that is if I were to download that, or I wanted to edit that on my desktop, it'll automatically convert that file into your standard Word document so that you can make those changes offline, as mentioned before. And the same can be done with spreadsheets, or if I wanted to create a presentation, or again create a folder from that create option. So we walked through the HandCom Think Free editor. I mentioned briefly before that if you have a Microsoft Office Online license, you could authenticate and sign in through Office Online, make all of those changes in Microsoft Office Online, and then as soon as you save or close out, those changes are pushed back into WorkDocs as a new version. And then again, the last option is our companion application, which gives you the ability to edit everything on your local desktop, and it'll automatically open open your document in the right application. So for instance, if I were to edit this on my desktop, it would open it in Microsoft Word. I could make all the changes that I want offline, and then as soon as I save it or close out of it, those changes would push back into WorkDocs again as a new version. So that is our editing functionality as well. Next, let's talk a little bit about how you would collaborate and comment around files and documents as well. So there are a couple different ways that you can create a new comment. You can either select a particular area of a document like this, or you can also select a specific piece of text as well. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about how you would collaborate around a document and leave comments with multiple users as well. So if I wanted to leave comments on a document, let's say I was reviewing this for a coworker, I could create a comment by either selecting a particular area of the document. That'll pop up a little comment box here. Or the other option is I can actually select some of the text if I'd like to as well. And that'll prompt a little comment box to pop up. So I can add my feedback. I can also tag users. So I can do an @mention. And any user that has permission to view this document is going to be searchable. And so this is connected either to your on-premise Active Directory, or through a managed AWS Active Directory, or through our simple Active Directory service, which are all identity and user management options available within WorkDocs. So let's say I wanted to tag Harold, I could do that. And then as soon as I send out this comment, or as soon as I post this comment, Harold will be notified that he was mentioned in this particular document as well. Can also make comments private if I need to. And I'm going to ask Harold to please update. And you can add as many comments in the stream as you would like to. I'm just going to do that one for now. Publish the draft. If you want to add a summary, you could add a summary here. One other thing that you can do is you can choose to notify contributors or not notify contributors. So if I don't want folks to get an email notification, I can uncheck that box. I'm going to assume that I do. And then as soon as I click publish, those comments are going to go out, and those users will get a notification that I've left comments. And then Harold will get a comment or a notification that he's been tagged in comments. So that's some of the commenting feature. From a sharing perspective, there are a couple different ways that you can share files. I can share a link, and you'll see here that there are some different link options. If I had shared a link and I eventually wanted to unshare it or rescind it, I could select off, and then users that I had shared that link with previously would no longer be able to access it. So I can do view only, which is just read-only access to the file. I can do view and edit, which gives them the ability to view and then also edit the file along with comment, etc. And then we do also have an option, and this is actually an administrator setting, for public sharing. Now, public sharing means that anybody with access to that link can access the file that I've shared. So this is actually an option that organizations can choose to completely not allow for their end users, just so that a document doesn't get into the wrong hands. So if I were using my corporate Amazon WorkDocs account, this would not actually even be an option, because I wouldn't want to accidentally send a link to somebody that could potentially share it with another user outside the organization. So this is an option that can be turned on or off, so to speak. So let's assume that I do just the view and edit option. If I'd like to, I can set an expiration date. So let's do an expiration date of Halloween coming up soon here. And then I could also add a passcode. So let's say I want to make a passcode here, 4848. And then as soon as I save and copy this, and by the way, these two options, or these two last features that I showed you are both optional. So you don't have to, you're not required to enter an expiration date, but it is nice added security feature, as is the passcode. And that way you could share that passcode through a chat or verbally or through a different method, just to give them an extra step to take to make it more secure. As soon as I save and copy that, it'll be saved to my clipboard, and then I could share a link to this document however I like. So copy and paste, and there's my document link there as well. The other way that I can share is I can invite people to a particular file. So let's say since we're picking on Harold here, I'm going to take him out of here for a minute. Let's say that we wanted to share with Harold. I can search for Harold through my AD search, select Harold, and then let's say I want to give him viewer access. So I just want Harold to be able to view the file, not go in and make edits or comment and so on and so forth. I can add a personal message for Harold. I can request feedback if I want him to get back to me. And then I could also share a link along with this as well. So as soon as I save that, Harold is going to get a notification via email that he's been invited to view this file, so that he can click the email, go in and view this actual file here as well. So that's the other way that you can share with additional users. I can also manage my permissions from here also. And then Harold will be added to the file and he'll be able to see it as well. I don't know, we really went into a lot of detail, but one thing that I wanted to quickly call out too is WorkDocs does support unlimited versioning. So no matter what, on any file, I can go back and see any previous version of that file and revert to that if needed through the versioning option here too. So that's something that's supported also. And one more quick note on the sharing piece that I just covered. One of the main differences that I wanted to call out with using the invite people option versus the share link option is if I invite somebody to this file, they actually will be able to navigate to this through their existing file and folder structure. So if they go to their Collaborate tab after I've shared it with them, they will be able to navigate to that file that I shared with them from Collaborate. So it remains, it becomes a little bit more permanent in their WorkDocs site and in their view, as opposed to just simply sharing a link, which does not actually put it in their files and folders as well. And so that is pretty much it. Our quick demo of the WorkDocs site. As a reminder, if you wanted to try WorkDocs, you can go in and set up a no-cost 30-day trial through the AWS console. And thanks for joining, Manoj. I'll pass it back to you.
This wraps up the session. Thank you for listening. You can get more information about WorkDocs by following the links on this slide. You can start a 30-day free trial by logging into the AWS console and creating a WorkDocs site. Thank you.